Okay, so I'm like a year late to this party, but it's gonna happen. And if it's late, well, freaking better late than never. So there you go. Anyway, I got the idea for this from this YouTube video I saw with the theme songs for Ezreal characters. If you want to check it out, it's in the description. If you don't know what Ezreal is, it's a web series of animations. And I mean actual animations, not those storytime animators who just have like still frames that have no illusion of movement and maybe lip syncing, but otherwise there's no animation. So Ezreal is an actual animated series with actual animation. And this character is Eduardo, who got superpowers and became Numero Uno, because he's number one. So it's obviously that's kind of reminds you of Robbie Rotten, since he's number one also. So they're number one together, and that's why this exists. So, when I start drawing, I make crippled stick figures and then I trace them a lot until they start to look like something. I didn't use pose references for this because I'm stupid. But yeah, so that caused a lot of issues. Anyway, I was kind of thinking of having like a angle where it's from the bottom, so like the camera is like at their feet pointing up. So I tried to draw Robbie's face at a downwards angle, and I didn't really know how to go about it. And I didn't look at references because I'm an idiot, so yeah, there's a lot of trial and error with this. Eventually I did get my brother to like just stand there, and I took a picture from him from below, and it turns out that like you don't even, the face doesn't even look that much different as far as the chin goes. Anyway, so when I was drawing, I had like a picture of Eduardo for reference to like find out his colors and the way the costume looks, and then I noticed this. You done goofed. You done goofed, animator. You didn't color that part of the shoe. Anyway. So, yeah, I drew like the feet completely incorrectly. So, I had to redo that a few times. Drawing Robbie's mouth was interesting because he's got like this. It kind of looks like buck teeth, though they're not. Like, he has the strangest grin. So, that was kind of fun to try to figure out how to draw. Anyways, so once I've like finished making a bunch of messy sketches in Photoshop, then I go to Illustrator. Now you're going to see that like everything's going to get cleaner looking suddenly because Illustrator has vectors instead of pixels like Photoshop. And vectors just look way better, and the lines are way cleaner. So I do the final line art in Illustrator since it looks way better. So since it's like a slightly downwards angle, you get a full view of their nostrils, which normally I don't draw nostrils in a full view, so that was interesting. Not much to say here, just tracing over things with better lines this time. Now I start on Robbie and his fabulous whatever's going on with his hair. So Eduardo's eyes were kind of difficult because I had to keep them inside of the one mask, so I felt like kind of constrained, and I was debating whether to draw eyebrows or not, and I was like, you know, it's screw it, I'll just have the eyebrows like on top of his mask inexplicably. It's not realistic, so whatever. For the hands, I just look at my own hand and then draw what my hand looks like. So I had Robbie with his thumb inside and then Eduardo with his thumb outside for a couple of reasons. One, I just wanted their hands to look a little different, and two, I figured since he's numero uno, Eduardo would be fighting more and stuff, so his hand would be like at ready to punch people. So your thumb's got to be like on the outside if you're going to be punching people. And Robbie's not very violent, so he's kind of like less concerned with where his thumb is. He just puts it inside, whatever. It's not really natural to have your thumb inside when you make a one sign, but whatever. So after I finish the line art in Illustrator, I have to copy all the lines, put it on a new layer, and then lock the top layer. Then the bottom layer, I select everything and convert it to live paint mode, and then I have to hide the outlines in that layer. So then you have a layer on the bottom, which is live paint mode, that you can color, and then the layer on top, which is just the lines. So normally, after I do that, I put the live paint, just the color layer, into Photoshop, and then on top of that, I put just the lines into Photoshop. So then I can shade things without ever having to worry about the lines getting in the way because they're in different layers. But I didn't do that this time because hindsight is 20/20. Anyway, so I wanted to have Eduardo's eyes have a little green ring since he's like all super powered and stuff. Also, Robbie's eyes. So, first I made them brown because I saw this reference picture of Robbie Rotten and his eyes were light brown. I was like, okay, whatever. Then I started looking more and like they're all gray or light blue, and I was like, alright, so I kept trying to find a reference image and I couldn't, so I finally gave up and just looked at the Year Number One music video, and those eyes are definitely blue, so later I changed his eyes from brown to blue. So for the color of the one in the background, I wasn't sure what color to make it, but eventually I decided to make it orange, since neither of the characters really have orange in their costumes, whereas Robbie has blue, so I didn't think blue would work very well, because it's more leaning towards like Robbie's aesthetic than Eduardo's. Anyway, so I wanted light to be coming from the bottom, which is kind of like an opposite way to shade from what I normally do. So like everything on tops and shadows. So, but since I abuse Photoshop filters in like everything I do, the process is a little faster than it would be if I like manually shaded everything. See, I'm just like making dark gradients and using that as shadows. Little cop out, but whatever works. So I guess that's about it. All the rest of this is just adding more lights and shading and all that stuff, cleaning some things up. I guess I'll say that putting light on their crotches is kind of awkward. I know they're drawings, but I'm like, I don't want to touch it. But yeah, that's about it. You can see the full picture on my DeviantArts in the description. Thanks for watching.